explore how they've changed since their time in the spotlight. Nino Brown, played by Wesley Snipes, is the smooth-talking, cold-blooded kingpin at the heart of New Jack City. With his designer suits, ruthless ambition, and undeniable charisma, Nino isn't just a drug lord. He's the ultimate villain you love to hate. He takes over an entire apartment complex, turns it into a crack empire, and rules the streets with an iron fist, all while delivering some of the most quotable lines in movie history. But beneath the flashy lifestyle and power, Nino is a man willing to betray anyone, even his closest friends, to stay on top. Wesley Snipes was 28 when he brought Nino to life, and he did it so well that the character became legendary. His performance was so slick and chilling that it helped cement New Jack City as a classic, influencing hip-hop culture and crime films for years to come. Now 62, Snipes, born on July 31st, 1962, has had an incredible career beyond New Jack City. He became an action star with Passenger 57 and Demolition Man, then redefined the superhero genre as Blade. Whether he's playing a hero, a villain, or bringing humor to his roles, Snipes has remained one of Hollywood's most captivating actors. And let's be real, no matter how many roles he takes on, for a lot of people, he'll always be Nino Brown. Selena Thomas, played by Michael Michelle, starts off as Nino Brown's girlfriend in New Jack City, living in the chaos of his criminal empire. She's loyal, loving, and deeply invested in him, standing by his side as he builds his drug empire. But things start to change when Nino's eyes begin to wander toward Uniqua, and Selena finds herself caught in a whirlwind of jealousy, hurt, and betrayal. As Nino becomes more distant, Selena is forced to face the reality of the life she's been living, and it's not the life she wants anymore. Michael Michelle was 25 when she brought Selena to life, and she nailed every bit of the character's vulnerability and strength. Selena is no helpless woman. She's smart, tough, and ultimately, she makes the hard choice to leave Nino and save herself. It's a powerful moment in the film, choosing to walk away from someone she loved to protect her own future. Now 58, Michael Michelle has continued to shine in both film and television. She's had notable roles in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and ER. But for New Jack City fans, she'll always be remembered as Selena, the woman who finally chose herself over Nino Brown and found the strength to walk away from the darkness. Pookie, played by Chris Rock, is one of the most heartbreaking characters in New Jack City. He starts off as just another street hustler caught up in the drug game, but addiction takes hold of him fast. By the time we really get to know him, he's deep in the struggle, twitchy, desperate, and barely holding on. But there's something about Pookie that makes you root for him. When he gets clean and tries to turn his life around, you want him to win. Unfortunately, the streets don't let go that easy, and his story takes a tragic turn that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Chris Rock was 25 when he took on the role, and it was a game changer for him. Before this, most people knew him for stand-up, but New Jack City proved he could do more than just make people laugh. His performance as Pookie was raw, real, and heartbreaking, showing a side of Rock that audiences weren't used to seeing. Of course, comedy was always in his blood. After New Jack City, he blew up, becoming one of the biggest stand-up comedians ever, starring in The Chris Rock Show, voicing Marty in Madagascar, and delivering legendary specials. But no matter how many jokes he's told since, Pookie remains one of his most powerful performances. A reminder that Chris Rock can bring the laughs, but he can also break your heart. Tracy Camilla Johns plays Uniqua in New Jack City, and she truly embodies a character who knows how to play the game, especially when it comes to seduction. Uniqua isn't just in a love triangle, she's the type of woman who can reel anyone in, even a tough guy like Nino Brown. Her ability to charm and manipulate makes her a standout in the film, proving that she has the power to influence the men around her in a way that's both calculated and seductive. Her affair with Nino, while betraying G-Money, shows just how capable Uniqua is of getting what she wants, even in the midst of chaos. Tracy plays her with such confidence that you can believe she could captivate someone as hardened as Nino, whose tough exterior doesn't seem like it could be cracked. But Uniqua, with her charm and subtle power, manages to do just that. making her a key player in the movie's emotional and dramatic tension. In her late 20s, when she filmed New Jack City, Tracy gave Uniqua a complexity that went beyond just being the other woman. She showed that Uniqua isn't just about sex appeal. She's a smart, calculating woman who uses her wits and her allure to get ahead, no matter who she has to deceive along the way. Uniqua's ability to seduce, even someone as tough as Nino, is what made her such a memorable and powerful character in the film. G-Money Alan Payne is the flashy, ambitious right-hand man in New Jack City. As Nino Brown's closest friend and business partner, G-Money is there from the start, helping turn the Cash Money brothers into a drug empire. He's got style, confidence, and big dreams. But as the money and power grow, so does the tension between him and Nino. While he's loyal, G-Money starts making reckless decisions, like bringing in an undercover cop, setting off a chain of events that leads to one of the most heartbreaking moments in the film. Alan Payne was 22 when he took on the role, bringing a mix of swagger and vulnerability that made G-Money more than just a sidekick. His performance gave the character depth, showing the emotional toll of power and betrayal. The moment Nino utters, "Am I my brother's keeper?" is one of the most unforgettable scenes in the movie, and Payne's performance makes it hit even harder. Now 56, Payne, born on July 7, 1968, went on to have a successful career in film and television. He starred in Jason's Lyric, 1994, CB4, 1993, and became widely known for playing C.J. Payne in Tyler Perry's House of Pain. While he's taken a step back from the spotlight in recent years, his role as G-Money remains one of his most iconic performances. For New Jack City fans, he'll always be the smooth, ambitious hustler who flew too close to the sun. Dada Man, played by Bill Nunn, is a menacing yet memorable enforcer in New Jack City. As one of Nino Brown's most feared soldiers in the Cash Money Brothers crew, Dada Man doesn't say much, but when he does, you listen. Known for his intimidating presence and that unforgettable, deep stuttering da-da-da before he strikes, he's the kind of guy you don't want to cross. Whether he's roughing up enemies or handling business for Nino, Dada Man is a loyal but ruthless part of the Empire. Bill Nunn was 37 when he took on the role, bringing the same commanding energy he had in Do the Right Thing, where he played the legendary Radio Raheem. His portrayal of Dada Man added another layer of intensity to New Jack City, making him one of the film's standout characters despite limited screen time. Sadly, Bill Nunn passed away in 2016 at the age of 62, but his impact on film lives on. Beyond New Jack City, he left his mark in movies like Spider-Man, 2002, where he played Robbie Robertson, and He Got Game, 1998. With his powerful screen presence and ability to bring depth to every role, Nunn remains a beloved figure in film history. And for New Jack City fans, Dada Man will always be one of the toughest enforcers to ever hit the screen. Kareem Akbar, played by Christopher Williams, is one of the most interesting characters in New Jack City, adding a layer of moral complexity to the film's intense drama. As a former bank teller, Kareem's character starts out pretty ordinary, but once he gets involved with Nino Brown's Cash Money Brothers, things take a darker turn. Using his banking expertise, he helps the crew launder their illegal profits, and it's clear that while he's good at what he does, he's also morally conflicted. Kareem is a man who once worked in a legitimate career, but the temptation of wealth and power pulls him into the underworld, showing how easy it is for someone to get caught up in the wrong things. Christopher Williams was 29 when he played Kareem, and it was a big leap from his R&B career. He was already known for hits like I'm Dreamin' and Promises, Promises, but his role in New Jack City proved that he had a lot more to offer than just a smooth voice. He brought depth and subtlety to the character of Kareem, making him one of the film's most memorable players. Now 56, born on August 22, 1967, Christopher Williams has continued to build a career in entertainment, bouncing between film and television. He appeared in shows like The Sinbad Show and The Parkers, and movies like The Phoenix and The Brothers. Even though he's taken a bit of a step back from the spotlight, his role as Kareem remains a standout in his career. It's a reminder that Kareem wasn't just a villain. He was a man torn between his past and the dangerous path he chose. Scotty Appleton, played by Ice-T, is the tough, no-nonsense cop in New Jack City. Scotty isn't just another detective. He's got a personal score to settle. As a kid, he watched his mother die at the hands of a drug addict, and that pain fuels his mission to take down Nino Brown and the Cash Money brothers from the inside. He's smart, relentless, and willing to play dirty if it means getting justice. His undercover work puts him right in the belly of the beast, and his tense rivalry with Nino drives some of the movie's most powerful moments. Ice-T was 32 when he stepped into Scotty's shoes, and he made it look effortless. As a rapper who had already built a reputation for telling raw stories about street life, he brought a realness to the role that felt natural. New Jack City was his first major acting gig, but he owned it like a pro, helping make the film a classic and proving he had more than just mic skills. Now 65, Ice-T, born on February 16, 1958, has carved out an impressive acting career, most famously as Detective Fin Tutuola on Law & Order SVU, a role he's held down for over 20 years. Whether through music, film, or TV, Ice-T has always kept it real. Vanessa Estelle Williams plays Keisha in New Jack City, and she brings a level of intensity to the role that makes it clear. Keisha is a woman you do not want to mess with. She's tough, no-nonsense, and completely loyal to Nino, never hesitating to carry out his orders, no matter how ruthless. But behind that fierce exterior is a woman caught in a world of moral conflict, where her loyalty comes at a steep price. Keisha's strength isn't just in her ability to follow orders, it's in how she navigates the consequences of her actions. At 27, Vanessa gave Keisha depth beyond the stereotypical bad girl persona. She showed that Keisha's loyalty to Nino might make her powerful, but it also puts her on a dangerous path that ultimately costs her more than she bargained for. Keisha is tough, but the emotional toll of her choices makes her all the more complex. Born May 12, 1963, in Brooklyn, Vanessa had already made her mark in TV when she landed this role, breaking barriers as the first black regular character on Melrose Place. Her career continued to flourish with roles in Candyman and Soul Food. Now 61, Vanessa is still going strong in TV, with roles in The Flash and Days of Our Lives. Keisha remains one of her most iconic roles, a woman who wasn't afraid to face the consequences of loyalty and proved she was someone you didn't want to cross. Nick Peretti, played by Judd Nelson, is the tough, no-nonsense cop in New Jack City, who's caught between doing what's right and doing what's necessary. As part of the team trying to take down Nino Brown, Nick is a veteran detective who's seen his fair share of crime. He's gritty and determined, but he's also disillusioned with the system. He doesn't always play by the rules, but he's not corrupt either. He's just trying to get results. While Scotty Appleton is the idealist, Nick is the realist who's willing to get his hands dirty if it means bringing down the empire Nino's built. That internal tug-of-war between right and wrong makes him a fascinating character in the film. Judd Nelson was 31 when he took on the role, and he brought his signature intensity to Nick. He wasn't just another cop. He made Nick someone you could understand, even if you didn't always agree with his methods. His frustration with the system and his struggle to balance his personal morals with the job are key to the film's emotional depth. Now 65, Nelson, born on November 28, 1959, has had a long career in both film and TV. He'll always be remembered for his role in the iconic 80s movies like The Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire, but he's kept busy with roles in shows like The Blacklist and movies like Biodome. Even years later, he still brings a unique intensity to his roles. And for New Jack City fans, Nick Peretti will always be that cop trying to do the right thing, even when the lines are blurred. Mario Van Peebles wasn't just part of New Jack City. He made New Jack City. As both the director and one of the film's key characters, he helped turn the 1991 crime drama into a cultural phenomenon. On screen, he played Stone, the tough but level-headed leader of the police task force going after Nino Brown and the Cash Money brothers. Stone isn't the flashiest character, but he's the backbone of the operation, pushing his team, keeping them focused, and making sure they don't lose themselves in the chaos. While Scotty Appleton is fueled by revenge, and Nick Peretti is unpredictable, Stone is the steady hand trying to bring law and order to a city drowning in drugs. Off-screen, Van Peebles, who was 34 at the time, was the driving force behind New Jack City as its director. He gave the film its slick, stylish feel, while making sure it didn't just glorify the drug game, it also showed the destruction it left behind. His ability to blend action, drama, and hip-hop culture made the movie feel raw and real, setting the stage for future crime films, and even influencing the way rap music videos were shot. Now 67, Van Peebles, born on January 15, 1957, has had an impressive career both in front of and behind the camera. He's directed films like Posse, 1993, and Badass, 2003, a tribute to his father, the legendary Melvin Van Peebles. Whether acting, directing, or producing, he's always been about telling bold, important stories. And for New Jack City fans, he'll always be the man who didn't just play a role. He made the movie happen. Bill Cobbs, who played the older man in New Jack City, wasn't afraid to face up to Nino Brown. Even though his character was a victim of the drug empire Nino created, Cobbs brought a quiet, undeniable strength to the role. Living in the apartment that Nino takes over, he wasn't intimidated by the chaos or the power Nino wielded. In fact, his character's calm demeanor in the face of such danger showed a kind of resilience that resonated deeply, making him more than just a background figure. At 57 years old during filming, Cobbs had already established himself as a veteran actor, and he brought that experience to the role. His character may have been displaced by Nino, but he wasn't afraid to stand his ground. Cobbs gave his performance a grounded, dignified quality, even as his character was forced out of his home by the ruthless drug lord. He didn't need flashy lines or big action scenes to make an impression. His ability to stand up to Nino, even silently, made his brief moments in the film some of the most powerful. Cobbs's legacy, sadly cut short by his passing in 2024, lives on through his iconic roles. His portrayal in New Jack City remains a reminder of the strength and resilience that even the most overlooked characters can show in the face of adversity. And that's a wrap on New Jack City.